We're going to continue our media availabilities here with a few of our NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers. We've got Justin Allgaier, driver of the number 7 Renai Chevrolet, Kaz Grala, driver of the number 24 Marlowe's Tavern Ford, Brandon Jones, number 19 of the Menards Toyota, and Tyler Reddick, the driver of the number 9 Nationwide Children's Hospital Chevrolet. I'll let you grab that. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it. We'll start with you, Tyler. I'm going to ask you guys all the same question, really. Just, tell us a little bit about your Daytona 500 experience. Obviously, you are our champion, and your Daytona experience, and let us know what it was like for you and how you're heading into this week.
Well, it was quite chaotic, to be honest. Not really sure, who won on that last overtime attempt. We almost won the race a couple other times before the caution came out, but ultimately on that last overtime attempt, I don't know how, but we barely edged Elliott at the line, and just got the perfect side draft in 3 and 4, and then got him pulled back just enough going through the tri-oval that we edged him by just a couple inches. So quite unreal way to start the year. Quite an unreal way to start, my tenure at Junior Motorsports, winning my first start. It's pretty cool. Me and Regan Smith were talking about how me and him have the only two that have done that for Junior Motorsports. So that's a pretty cool deal as well. So let's try and keep it rolling here. We don't have quite the fire speed we need to have in our Nationwide Children's Hospital Chevrolet, but I think our long run speed won't be bad. We just got to keep working on it, and the car drives good. I think that's a really important part. We just got to manage our tires.
Justin, you want to talk a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, mine was the exact opposite of Tyler's. We ran up front kind of all day at Daytona. Really felt like we put ourselves in good position at the end. I mean, that's the hard part. I don't know how many overtime attempts you went through, but it just seemed like coming down to the end, guys were getting more and more anxious, and I thought we were going to be in great shape. We started on the outside of the front row for the first green-white checker, and just the way that things worked out, Eric was on my back bumper, and I actually couldn't turn left. He was too far to the left of my back bumper, and I couldn't turn left, so going into 1, it kind of shot me up the hill and lost the draft, and then they all crashed off at turn 2, and I had nowhere to go, and I hit Eric. So kind of a frustrating way to end, a good day, but it was great to have Tyler obviously in victory lane and Elliott right there with him, and Chase ran really well. Unfortunately, Michael and I both got caught up in other stuff, but really proud of everybody at Junior Motorsports. I think, coming here, composite body, the OSS for the first time, doing a lot of things that we're going through. I feel like our team's done a really good job. And like Tyler said, our Renai Chevy's really, really fast. It feels good. I think the long run's going to be kind of our strengths this week, hopefully. And find a little bit of short run speed, I think we'll be in great shape.
Brandon?
Our goal, I think, was to finish the race and finish top 15 doing that. We finished the race, but we didn't actually come through with no scratches on the car. We ended up, I think, getting in 5 incidents throughout the day, and it was weird. It was like myself and Chris Gapehart's understanding. For whatever reason, it clearly states this in the rule book that it's unlimited attempts for the the green-white checkered finish there, and for whatever reason, we thought it was just 3. So we were pretty much done after that last spin through the grass there, and we started loading up tires and stuff, and all of a sudden we're like, whoa, we got to put tires back on it. So we kind of had to thrash there at the end and rallied back to 10th. So it was not too bad considering the day that we had fought through all day long. For Atlanta anyways, it's always fun coming back home for myself. Grew up about an hour away from here, so it's fun to come back. This is a difficult track. This is probably our hardest 1.5 mile track that we do come to, just because of the surface here and what it takes to be so disciplined to pick a line and stick to it and run it consistently. So I've been trying to find a little bit more speed in our 19 Menards Toyota Camry today. So we'll see what we get later on.
And Kaz, you're coming from the truck series. Can you talk a little bit about how this was for you too?
Well, I mean, last weekend was definitely eventful for me. First time sitting in an Xfinity car, and we didn't quite have the speed that we were hoping to have. We qualified 27th, and we couldn't hang with the draft the first half of the race, but we made some adjustments to it. Shane Wilson did a really good job on the Mustang and got us faster, and by the second half we could hang with the pack, and we were able to make a few moves and put ourselves in the right position. And by the end of the race, we worked ourselves up into the top 5 for the past couple overtime attempts, and we finished 4th. So my team and I were thrilled with that finish. That was a great way to start the season for us and give us a little bit of confidence and momentum going into this weekend. And so far off to a good start for us here at Atlanta.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Go to Matt.
Matt Weaver, AutoWeek.com. A question for Brandon. Your family has been supporters of Spencer Davis for a long time, and he's running 5 truck races this year. I assume you know him pretty well, too. And just what is it about Spencer that your family believes in him so much to give him this opportunity?
Yeah, so my first 2 tracks that I ever started at 13 were Lanier Speedway in Brazelton, Georgia, and Gresham, just north of it. So those were the 2 tracks I ran every single Friday, Saturday night growing up racing. And myself and Spencer were the 2 trucks, and we were 2 teammates at the time doing it. So I've been teammates with Spencer for a long time, and then trying to give him a little bit of an opportunity as well was our goal there. But pretty good little race car driver for sure. He's done a heck of a job in super late models, and he's came up through the ranks pretty well there. So that's kind of our relationship with Spencer. Just running short track races with him when I first started.
Jacob Seelman, Race Chaser Online Performance Motorsports Network. I've got 2 questions. Brandon, for you first. New scenery this year. What's the change in atmosphere been like going over to JGR and Toyota, and how do you feel like you fit in so far?
We've had a blast, man. We really have. I feel like this team that I've got this year with Chris Gapehart and those guys, we really connected pretty well so far. All of our personalities mesh pretty well. He's definitely all serious and no nonsense. So that's been pretty good for me. I've been pretty disciplined on some new stuff that I've been having to work through. But a lot of tools that he's probably tried to put together just for me, just to learn a little bit more than I have in the past. And so I feel like I've gotten a lot more hands-on learning experience at this team so far. That's been the biggest change I've seen as far as the years gone on. Obviously changed from manufacturer, went to Toyota this year with JGR. For myself, that's a change anyways, and it's been nothing but positive there. A lot of support from Toyota, so it's been good for sure so far.
Second question for the Treble Twins over there. Yes, Tyler, that includes you. What's the dynamic been like for you, Tyler, going over to JRM, and then I guess Justin, if you want to add to that from a veteran perspective, what's the dynamic been like for him fitting in where Byron was last year?
Well, it's been pretty easy. Get along really well with Dave Ellens and everybody really, Junior Motorsports. It's a real family environment, and the transition's been real easy, honestly. Feel like fit right in with everybody, and we hit the ground running pretty good at Daytona. So, we still very early on in the season, second race in, but right off the bat, I feel like everyone's getting along pretty good. I know me and the guys on my team are getting along great, having a blast so far, and that's a very important part that sometimes people lose focus on is you got to have fun too. And when you're having fun, you're gonna have a fast race car, and you guys are gonna have a good weekend. So it's been really fun so far, getting to know everybody, and from my side of it, it's been great. He might tell you something completely different though.
No, I think it's been great. Last year having William in had one kind of outlook on things. Being around the sport of motorsport for a lot less than obviously Tyler or myself or Elliot or Michael. Tyler and I kind of grew up racing some of the same stuff, and so I've known Tyler for a long time outside of being teammates with him, and I feel like we get along really well to begin with. But to add him to our team, Elliot and Michael and I got along great last year with William, and obviously that hasn't changed, and it's been fun because we went from William, is obviously extremely talented and did a great job, to another extremely talented race car driver. And when you have that and you've got 4 opinions kind of going in the same direction, and all of our crew chiefs get along well, all of our crew guys get along well. So the fact that we've got 4 teams that really kind of work in unison, I think that's something for me that's huge. It's super important. And if one of us is struggling, well, then we got 3 others that we can rely on. And I think strength in numbers is a big deal for us.
Are there any other questions? Nope. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.